My next guest is the foreign policy advisor to Azerbaijan's president, Hikmet Hajiyev, joins me now via Skype from Baku. It's good to have you, sir. The authorities in Nagorno-Karabakh have accepted this ceasefire proposal made by the Russian peacekeeping command. Armenia's prime minister says his government had no role in this ceasefire. Was Azerbaijan involved, and do you accept this ceasefire?
First of all, thank you for this opportunity. I do regret that in a reportage that have been provided doesn't reflect in a full reality on the ground, and it's a little bit one-sided. The reality is that we are talking about, let's say, separatist illegal entity and created and supported by Armenia. And it's also in a current reality is a remnant of the past, the 30 years long of Armenia's occupation against Azerbaijan. And Azerbaijan on multiple occasions said that there is a 10,000 strong armed forces of the Republic of Armenia with an element of the tank and heavy cannons. And with the recent counter-terrorism actions once again demonstrated that we are not dealing with the paramilitaries, we are dealing with a real battle force on the ground that constitutes major threat to the security of Azerbaijan, to the wider region. But it's an over now, and we are looking forward with regard to providing rights and security of average Armenian residents of Karabakh under the constitution of Azerbaijan, and ending with a grey zone that has been in place for 30 years against Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan fully observes that, and we made it very open that if with illegal forces on the ground and elements of the armed forces, if they disarm and put the guns down, and if they demilitarize, and the operation is halted and it's an over, and we will start a peaceful reintegration process.
Let's just consider the question I asked specifically then. Do you accept this ceasefire at this point?
Yes, of course. But also, by the way, Azerbaijan actively engaged in that process, and we are Russian peacekeepers, and through our international partners as well. And United States was also behind all of these developments with regard to halting with counter-terrorism actions and also disarmament element. And we positively reacted and said that Azerbaijan is ready to do that. And glad and delighted to say that on the 1300 today Baku time, and there was a consent that they will disarm, and it once again shows that there was a real battle force. And then Armenian Prime Minister denies that there is no forces of Armenia on the ground, but Karabakh illegal puppet regime accepted that there is an element of the Armenian armed force on the ground. Again, Azerbaijan's agenda is a peace. Yes, we will observe that, and we will continue to, it's in a complete implementation, and also taking the proper control of Karabakh under the constitutions and laws, and also reintegrating Karabakh, Armenian residents of Karabakh to the political, social, economic spectrum of Azerbaijan in a very peaceful manner.
As Nick reported in his piece there, Ocampo, the respected international lawyer, wrote a legal opinion calling the blockade genocide. I know that Azerbaijan disputes this analysis in the first instance. So I guess it's important for our viewers to understand, what is Azerbaijan's end goal at this point?
Well, first of all, Ocampo, I don't take him seriously because he's a corrupt lawyer, and there are many quite substantial allegations against him. Because we also have quite well-established facts that he is writing such a report with the money of Armenian lobby groups. I do regret that being a lawyer and he's a person abuses the term genocide. And I do also regret that some of the international media outlets are misusing this word in a genocide. And to putting this word against the people of Azerbaijan, we accept it as a sign of insult. Because in the history of Azerbaijani people, we have been subject to ethnic cleansing. And Armenian
These are your allegations. I'm going to stop you there for 1 second. Let me just stop you for 1 second, because this is broadcast internationally. Let me stop you for 1 second.
Yes.
Ocampo, these are allegations you are making about Ocampo. Certainly not something that we can stand up here. This is your perspective, not anybody else's at this point. Carry on. What is Azerbaijan's mission here? What are you hoping to accomplish?
Azerbaijan's mission is here that, as in every sovereign country, Azerbaijan is also having a right to ensure its sovereignty and to put in a grey zone that is existing on Azerbaijan's territory for 30 years. And this grey zone is a remnant of the 30 years long Armenians' military occupation against Azerbaijan. I do regret that when international reporters are covering the situation on the region and passing in silence with regard to this fact. and Azerbaijan's cities have been destroyed. Azerbaijan's Muslim cultural heritage has been destroyed by Armenians throughout the 30 years. And this illegal entity is also a continuation of Armenia's policy of military occupation against Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is establishing its own sovereignty.
Okay.
Azerbaijan is protecting and looking forward to protect rights and security of Karabakh Armenians on the ground and ensuring withdrawal of illegal armed formations and including military troops of the Republic of Armenia from its territories. That's a sovereign right of the Republic of Azerbaijan.
In this latest episode of what has been now a long-running conflict, it has to be said, at least 32 civilians have been killed, including 2 children. You played down these casualties to my colleague Matthew Chance, somewhat dismissing them as collateral damage. Do you stand by that? And what systems were put in place to prevent civilian casualties, sir?
First of all, you see that when Azerbaijan started with regard to the provocative mine blast, a landmine blast that has been committed against Azerbaijani civilians and Azerbaijani police officers by the illegal armed formations on our territory, Azerbaijan was obliged, it's not our choice, but we have been obliged to start with counter-terrorism actions on the ground. Azerbaijan has used precision-guided munitions, and we have been very selective and very accurate with regard to the target acquisition and target neutralization. And all video footages have been provided. All civilians and all mobile subscribers have been sent SMS message and notifying them, please keep in a safe distance from the military installations. What we have seen, on the contrary, local armed formations as a methodology of the terrorists, and they try to put their military installations next to the civilian installations. And they also carrying civilian clothes by holding their arms on the ground. Again, Azerbaijan used all precautionary measures, and we use also radio waves and to reach out to the local population with regards to safety.
Okay.
I can assure you that there was a maximum minimal damage to the civilians. If it occurred, it's in a collateral in any way. But the figures, right. I don't think that are realistic figures. These figures need to be verified and double-checked. I also do regret that Nick's reportage is not quite balanced and fair, and there are certain facts need to be double-checked.
Well, this was an opportunity to voice regret for the death of children. I hear what you're saying. You've explained that guardrails were put in place, but I mean, it was very specifically a question about regretting the death of children.
Yes. Of course, not unacceptable, but please also to understand that Azerbaijan is not unlike Armenia. Armenia uses Sieta ballistic missiles, including the Scud missiles and Iskander missiles, against Azerbaijan cities during the 44 days war, including my hometown, Ganja, where hundreds of the civilians died over the night. It's not an Azerbaijan but using missiles against the civilians, against their kids.
I mean, the death of civilians is always regrettable, of course, in war. Let me.
Yes, there should be fair balance.
Well, and we've given you. So you're on the show, and you're live on my show with an opportunity to put the Azerbaijan position, and I'm very pleased that we've given you the opportunity to do so. Let me ask you this finally: what is the role of Russia in all of this? Their peacekeeping troops are reportedly tasked with preventing further conflict. Are they coming good on that? I mean, is their strategic role as described one that Russia is coming good on at this point? I mean, given that the Ukraine war is going on, I mean, that is obviously, this almost becomes a sideshow to that. I mean, what's your sense of Russia's involvement in this at this point?
Russia is a neighboring country, and Russia is also a Caucasian country, and Russia also has an historical relations with Azerbaijan, Armenia at the same time. And with the end of the 44 days war, and we signed a trilateral statement with the support of Russia back then. And trilateral statement, unfortunately, is in a geopolitical architecture, has been destroyed by Armenia, and shipping the military personnel, arms, and putting the landmines on our territory. And within a recent incident and escalation is one of the side effects of such a policy pursued by Armenia. And Russian peacekeepers are operating on the ground as part of the trilateral statement. We are keeping also cooperative relationship and also operational relationship with the Russian peacekeepers on the ground. When this engagement has started through operational channels, we have also informed Russian peacekeepers on the ground. And with regard to the disarmament process,
Okay.
we are also trying to work with the Russian peacekeepers on the ground, and Moscow, and also providing certain platforms along with Brussels and Washington platform for the advancement of the peace agenda between Armenia and Azerbaijan. I once again reiterate that notwithstanding
It's good to have
the
you, sir.
military by Armenia, Azerbaijan is supporting peace.
It's good to have you. Thank you very much
Thank you.
indeed
It's a
for
pleasure,
joining us. This is an extremely important, complex, complicated story. It's a headline for us today, as it should be rightly, and it's important to get your analysis. Thank you very much indeed.